But I don't piss you off either.
There we go. We are live.
All right, it's on.
What's up? What's up, people? Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know it's Saturday. Second episode of the BlackbRound table, where we come together as a collective with thoughts and ideas to try to improve circumstances of the Black community, to try to be enlightened, however you want to bring it. Today, you know, I got two guests. I'm gonna put the link for anybody who want to come on. If you want to come on and you want to express yourself, you can. Ain't nobody gonna beat you up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna respect you. So you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and get started. If everybody want to introduce themselves, they can. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm hoping Brother Keith can come back on here today. You know what I'm saying? I know last night we kind of, you know, went hard. I put that belt out. But sometimes, you know, to be a good friend, you have to put a belt out sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Friends whoop friends. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, what's up, brother? There you go. There you go. If you want to come in, brother, you can come in. You know what I'm saying? No much love, much respect. You know what I'm saying? Today we're gonna talk about, you know, a couple of subjects. And you know, we're gonna let it be what it is. You know, it's a building table for you know, for suggestions to try to make things better or whatever, however, but we're gonna just build. You know, that's the thing about we trying to build, trying to do what we can like our ancestors did. Use our voice to try to motivate our people. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and if anybody, hey, check this out. You know, if anybody want to donate, I got no problem. Run them donations. Run, run them. If anybody want to donate and they want to, you know, contribute, do that. I'm not gonna stop you from contributing. You know what I'm saying? Who am I to stop someone from giving me the gift of giving? You know what I'm saying? I know it ain't Christmas yet, but you know, hey, run them donations. You know, if you're gonna send $10, add 5 to that $10. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead, you know what I'm saying, and go in. You know, and y'all want to start off the topic, or y'all want to, you know what I'm saying, what y'all want to talk about today?
Netta, would you like to say anything, young lady?
It don't matter to me. I
tell you what, now, sister, since I know some of your specialties, let's start with this. Okay, I know you good with tracing ancestors, genealogy, family tree. If I wanted to start with tracing my genealogy or my ancestry in the Americas, where would I first start? How would I start by doing that?
You will start with yourself and your parents. And if you know your grandparents and your great-grandparents, what I always suggest to people is talk to the oldest people in your family, because they know more and have a longer memory than you do. And what happens is when you talk to your elders, they make those people that you find on paper come to life. They're going to tell you the backstory of your ancestors. They're going to give you their characteristic traits. They're going to give you, oh, they live here, they live there. They even going to tell you stories that you might be uncomfortable with, because Uncle Joe might not have the same daddy as Aunt Sally. You're going to run into those problems when you start looking at that paperwork. So I always say, talk to your elders first, get the backstory from them, and then start with looking at stuff like death certificates, because the death certificates is going to have where the person was born, who their parents was, where their parents was born. And then you look at birth certificates, if they're born within the time frame when they was issuing birth certificates. Then you want to look at the census records, and you just go on from there until you hit that 1870 wall. Now, when you get to that 1870 wall, you got to do a little bit more in-depth research.
And if you don't mind, so why, if you get to that 1870 mark, that you have to do a little bit more research?
when you get to the 1870, because 1870 is the first time that they put Black people that was not considered free persons of color on the census. Before 1870, Black people was considered as property unless they was a free person of color. So if you find an ancestor that was on the 1860 census, 1850 census, you hit the jackpot, because it's easier to trace them down because they was free. But unfortunately, a lot of our ancestors was enslaved. Not all, some but not all, most but not all. And you start digging around the area that those people lived in 1870. So what you want to do, you find your ancestor on the 1870 census. You look at the area that they stayed. What you start doing is researching the white people that lived around that area that had the same last name as your ancestors. So once you start going into those white people's records, you want to look at stuff like property records, tax records, bills and deeds and stuff like that, because they will be listed under property, not people.
So you can trace, you saying that you can trace your ancestry pretty much easy until you get to the 1860 mark. And
Correct.
That's when you run into a problem because Black people was considered property.
Yes, unless you were one of those people who had a free ancestor. Like me, 2 branches of my family were free, so I was able to trace them back to an 1850 census. But the rest of my family branch, they wasn't free, so I had to do a little digging. I had to look at the slave schedules. I researched the people around them that had their last names, and like a lot of people. Okay, I'm from North Carolina, so a lot of my ancestors either came from South Carolina or Virginia, because it was hard to import slaves on the North Carolina coast because of the Outer Banks. So what I did with my grandma Fanny, her last name was Chile, and I knew she was born in Brunswick County, Virginia. I got that information off her son's death certificate. His name was Andrew Campbell. So what I did was look in the slave schedules from 1860, and I looked up every slave on the last name Chile that stayed in Brunswick County. Well, I come across a Black woman that was around the age of my great grandma Fanny. Well, come to find out, when I looked on the 1870 census, she was listed on the same page as another man named T.J. Chile. And to come to find out, T.J. Chile is the son of the woman. Her name was Diana Chile, and Diana Chile was the slave owner on the slave census I found that had the woman with the same age as my grandmother Fanny at that time. And so then I started looking at T.J. Chile's kids. Well, my grandma Fanny named 2 of her kids after T.J.'s kids. So that you have to kind of put stuff together like a puzzle.
Let me ask you this, Susan, and if I'm off, you can say I'm off. Okay, and looking up your genealogy in the Americas, would you say that most of us will find that we have Caucasian bloodline in us somewhere along their DNA or something like that?
Yeah, you will find that you have a European ancestor somewhere, and sometimes you can't directly locate that European ancestor. You would just have a ancestor that has an M beside their name in the census, which stands for mulatto. But with my case, one of my branches that happened to be free is because a white indentured servant married a mulatto slave, and she had 4 kids by this man. So they was considered free people of color because their mama was white. And so I was able to pinpoint her by name, age, and all of that just because she was a free white woman and she had black kids by a black man, so they were free. But it just take a lot, and it took me. I just found that out this year, and I've been doing my genealogy since 2008. It's not a quick thing. Sometimes you have to take a break. Stuff is getting indexed and digitized all the time, so you might hit a brick wall in May, take a break, you come back in December, and you're able to break through that wall that you was trying to get through with that certain ancestor.
So basically, what you saying? All Negroes mix blood. Ain't none of y'all Negroes 100% black.
Unless you come from South Carolina. Now I know some people from South Carolina like 98% African.
So what you just said, sis, and I just want to make sure I can see. I don't care about my white side. You know what I'm saying? I love my white side. I'm in tune with my white side. It's just y'all 100% black power Negroes I got a problem with. You know what I'm saying? Y'all grow y'all dreads and all this other little stuff, facial hair all over the place. So what you saying, if I did a genealogy test and I searched and I kept on searching, most likely I'm gonna run into a white man or a white woman that I got blood from.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a big possibility that you will. Now, I ain't gonna say that's gonna happen all the time because you might can't find that white ancestor. They might just be lost. And he might have been a deadbeat daddy, or she might have been a deadbeat mama. You know what I'm saying? And then you got some people, some black people that pass themselves off as white, that was light enough to pass themselves off as white. So when we do the color thing, especially with the census paper, it was really lookership. They're like, oh, she look like she black, so we're gonna write that she black. She look like she a mulatto, so we're gonna put mulatto on it. She look white, so we're gonna put that she's white. It was based off of lookership. It wasn't really based off of, I know my mama was white and my daddy was black type of thing. They just wrote down whatever they saw.
So as you were going in and out as you was talking, you know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. But what part did y'all?
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? And anybody, you know, anybody that's watching this or watch this, if you're interested in trying to find out your genealogy, contact that sister. She's Shanetta Summers on Facebook. She does an excellent job with it. You know, if she didn't know what she was talking about, I wouldn't have her on here. So you know what I'm saying? If you want to know about your genealogy, you want to start by finding your family tree, she's gonna set you off where to go. That being said, sister, would I be making a true statement by saying if you light-skinned it, you're not 100% black?
No. No, like me and Ogun say, black is a culture. Exactly. Black is not a race, it's a culture. It's what you do, how we cook, what we eat, how we talk, just the small minor stuff that we don't pay attention to. That's what black is. Black ain't no, if you light skin, you ain't black enough. If you dark skin, you just right. It's the culture that we adapted to and made in America. That's what it is.
So you saying me having more melanin than a light-skinned person, that don't make me a little bit more closer to the my black ancestor than that light-skinned person?
Nah. I mean, nah, I don't think so. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
What you think, brother TK? You know what I'm saying? How you feel about what the sister's saying, man?
I think it's great information, and I agree concerning black culture, and that it's more than one way to be black, and embracing how we actually act and interact with each other is how we can try to move forward. So I'm definitely for all that.
Yeah, what's up? So you know, when you say it's more than one way to be black, can you explain that? What you're saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody's not a thug. Everybody's not going to be on some televised version of what black is. Black is how we interact, just like Netta was telling you. That's black. You know what I mean? Our culture, what we're grounded in, how we love each other, how we represent each other. And it doesn't matter if you're a nerd, It doesn't matter if you a gang banging nigga. I don't care where you from. You know what I'm saying? You black and you experience this nation treating us black for so long. You know what I'm saying? The divides that these like fake divides that we put between each other is what's killing us.
So what do you think it started with the division of what's black? You know what I'm saying? What caused that whole thing, like I'm blacker than you, or you know what I'm saying, you ain't black enough, or you know, what you think started all that?
I think it comes from successful Negroes. Like if you make it, you know what I'm saying, or you are perceived to have made it, people start to hate on that. And they think you're not black enough no more because you're not in the struggle knee deep with them. But it's still other struggles on every level of life that you're going to achieve as a black man here in America, or a black woman. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody makes it out, I think we should cheer them. When somebody creates something that they own and they exploit that talent to the best of their ability to make a way for their family, we should celebrate that. Because not only did they show you that there's a pathway other than everything else that they show you out here in the world, and that you can overcome whatever obstacles, they also show you that we compete out here.
Okay, the brother say, what's the importance of that? How is that information beneficial to the culture today, and what problems would be fixed by that information? Mr. Williams, what information you talking about? Are you talking about what we're talking about now? Are you talking about what the sister was talking about? What information you talking about, Mr. Williams? Let me know, please. The brother, once again, the question was, what's the importance of that? How is that information beneficial to the culture today? And what problems will be fixed by that? So let me know what you're talking about, Mr. Williams, so we can address it properly.
Yeah, and just to be clear, if you're speaking on how we're discussing being black right now, it's important that we embrace each other. You know what I'm saying? No matter what path we are on, no matter what experiences we have had outside of us being black, we need to embrace that. I need friends that read shit that I don't read, that know things that I don't know, that could put me on the game outside of what we're normally used to. And so that's how I would answer that question. It affects us because technology has brought us closer together, but we also aren't working together. And so knowing that this man is on the same path you on to be a success, to be productive, to raise his family and live right, however it go down, he's still a black man, and we need to support that whether they make it or not. You know what I'm saying? When they do, we should celebrate that.
And I mean, with that question, if that's what you're talking about, Mr. Williams, I really think it's a good question, because we have a separated type of, let me see what he said the information the sister was talking about. Just said, okay then, Mr. Williams, what I was having the sister do is, like, a lot of us don't know where we come from, who we come from, or what, you know what I'm saying, what's in us. You know, a lot of us claiming different areas, different type of history, different things. So if you know your genealogy, you know your family, you know who you came from, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people claim to be like, you could be some kin to one of our great ancestors that passed on, that everybody idolized. I know I would take even more pride in being who I am if I knew, hey man, I am some kin to Malcolm X, or I am some kin to Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? If I knew that was in my bloodline, and you know what I'm saying, and that was something, and it's just something that you can build off of, and it's also information that you can pass on when you leave. You know, you can pass on to that next generation. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, I mean, I'm not comparing us to dogs, but they doing it with dogs. If your dog is AKC registered dog, you can actually send in, you pay so many amount of dollars. I'm gonna say $50. You pay $50 and they send you like second, third generation for that dog. The people use that information to charge you more money for a dog. So, you know what I'm saying? My thing with that is us knowing our genealogy, knowing our roots. Can't nobody take that away from us if we know our roots. You know what I'm saying? That's just like the DNA companies. You know, it's like, okay, a lot of people paying for their DNA because they want to know exactly where they come from, what's exactly their heritage. So, you know what I'm saying? I think that'll be helpful with a lot of us knowing who and what we are, you know what I'm saying, as a culture. I'm going to see if West African King, if, you know, he got something he want to say on that particular topic. You know what I'm saying? If you do, brother, I'll let you go ahead and say what you got to say.
Peace to the family. How my mic sound? I sound good.
You sound good, bro.
Habaragani, Habaragani.
Give them that work.
What's happening? What's happening? Peace to the family. Peace to coach, followers, and listeners. I really ain't got nothing to say, man. You know, I'm just tuning in on the bill just when they got some food for the family. But I would definitely say uh the question the brother asked, the sister Nelda made a profound statement. I will not repeat it. I will let her repeat it first. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Speaking on the reparation situation, because that's her statement and it was very profound. And of course, this is online, and I want her to be the first one to quote the statement, meaning because I'm building on what the brother asked, how would that help? But Sus made a statement about how would that help tracing your roots and your culture. You did what I'm saying. So just like Coach said, you definitely need to know who you are. Shit, it's not for you, for your kids, so they can know where they came from. Because if you don't know where you come from, you won't know where you're going. And I'm a mute for a second on that.
Unmute, coach.
That was so. Get me off the mute. And you know, and that's and Mr. Williams, that's like more or less, you know, just that history. And that's the thing that we have forgotten and we get out of is our history. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like you know, somebody like, you know, hey, who you from? Where you from? Who you kin to? What, you know what I'm saying? And then it also goes into a lot of the problems that we have today, like with genealogy. If you know where you came from and your type of people, then you know what I'm saying. Matter of fact, when you go to the doctor, when they ask you about your family history, hey, does your family have a history of cancer? Your family have a history of high blood pressure? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's some, like I said, it's good information for us to know our family history, our roots. You know, it's also good to know who we some kin to. So, you know, a lot of us be around here making love to our cousins, and we don't even know they are our cousins.
That's really nasty.
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying, like, you know, a lot of people be like, you know what I'm saying?
So your
You find
cousin
out, and then
good. Cousin
you
got
go to the
that
family
thing.
reunion and hear grandma like telling you, boy, that's your cousin on such and such side, and just telling you like, wait a minute, I didn't know that was my cousin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Say cousin got
And
that
here
fat
y'all
ass.
gonna make a baby and everything. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's good to know your generation, your genealogy, where you from, who you some kin to. You know what I'm saying? I think, like I said,
as a point of pride too. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing can definitely boost your self-esteem. So
yeah, exactly. Like I said, now I knew one brother. I ain't gonna call the brother name because I don't want nobody to think I'm talking negative of the brother. But everybody know him if they're in the so-called conscious community. Well, at one time he said he was some kin to Frederick Douglass.
yeah,
And he was saying Frederick Douglass was his great uncle, some such. Well, Frederick Douglass' family came and said, "Wait a minute, he's not in our family tree."
Speak your speech.
You know, his Frederick Douglass family came and said, "Hey, look, that brother is not in our family tree." So the brother kind of recanted what he said, like he wasn't, you know, he's some kin to me in spirit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't, like I said, I'm not gonna say the brother name because I don't want nobody to think I'm talking negative on the brother. But because Frederick Douglass' family knew their family tree, they knew he wasn't no kin to him. So you know what I'm saying? That's a good thing. But Mr. Williams, I'm glad you asked because you know it's no dumb questions. It's no dumb questions when it comes to dealing with us and our information. Speaking of that information, y'all, I always give y'all somebody that y'all can check out, look up. Y'all gotta excuse my voice. I don't know what happening, but my voice acting up. What the brother say? Do you think that info will slow the genocide amongst blacks? And no, Mr. Williams, no, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, no. Really, shit, I don't know what can stop slow down the genocide of blacks amongst blacks. Only thing I know is I try to use my platform and the people that follow me and listen to me. I try to use that to try to help. I know other people, I bring other people, but to slow down the genocides amongst blacks, I think first we have to address it. You know what I'm saying? We have to address what we doing to each other. And that's the elephant in the room every time we have these type of conversations, because don't nobody want to address. We can talk about what the Indian did to us. We can talk about what the Arab, we can talk about the Caucasian, but we never want to talk about what we're doing to each other. So, you know what I'm saying? Learning your genealogy, no, it would not stop the genocide.
I disagree. I think it would help.
Go ahead, tell me, brother. Help me. Tell me what you got on your mind.
I just think it's a part of that whole recapturing who we really are from slavery, as well as all the free Negroes that was here during slavery, trying to help get us free. Knowing bits and pieces of that and things that you could stand on, I think are absolutely helpful.
That's what's up. That's what's up, bro. So you saying if I was to tell the young dude, look, man, hey, you some kin to somebody famous, you think that'll slow him down from robbing me?
I think it overall, if everyone was embracing the culture of knowing who we were at a particular point, it would make a difference. So what I mean is that if we had a community and we're our community, well, we have our community, you know how we get down. We trying to build, right? So we're building, and you're giving me information about your genetics, and then I start giving you information after I do it. You know what I'm saying? And we start building on just that information alone. We find out that we can somewhere along the line. That builds a bond. I ain't saying that it's something that would happen rapidly. That's where I'm saying it has to be a point of us all embracing these kinds of ideologies or values to where we are all in the same group, regardless of whatever walk. And that comes from knowing your tribe.
The brother Joe Williams say, I think knowing what niggas sold me into slavery would be harmful.
Okay, break that down. Why though?
Oh my God. Well, man, I'm gonna say this, Mr. Williams. I think that knowing what particular slave you came from could help you connect to family that you might not even know you have.
See?
You know what I'm saying? Because if you study your genealogy and know your genealogy, your family tree, you will understand, like, okay, these are areas that I never been, and these people might have my bloodline. Knowing that Williams is the name of whoever owned your family. It wasn't your original name. So Williams, you might meet some Williams that you didn't know. And like I said, it'll help you from marrying your cousin. You know what I'm saying? So, I think the genealogy would be good for a lot of us. And then it'll show your kids. It's something to show your kids. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine you showing your kids the research, or even having them help you find that research. You know what I'm saying? But one of the people that I wanted to say something about, but Mr. Williams, if you wanted to talk to that sister, and she's supposed to be coming back on, whenever she come back on, I'll let her come and talk for herself. But if you want to talk to that sister, she real good at that information. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to know your family tree, your genealogy, check out Shanetta Summers on Facebook, inbox her, and y'all can begin that process. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I ain't even got to say it. Here she go right here. Unmute your mic, sis. Brother say,
okay, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, there you go. Mr. Williams was saying, he asked the question first, was that information useful today? and we gave our input on it. I wonder, did you have anything you want to say about is knowing your genealogy? You know what I'm saying? Is knowing your genealogy, is that good for us today? Is that useful for us today?
I mean, why wouldn't it be useful? Because y'all can sit here and learn about United States history, world history, the Bible history, but you don't even know the history of your own families. So y'all always saying, black people act like this and that because they ain't got knowledge of self. Well, the first step of having knowledge of self is knowing who your relatives are. You know, and if you don't know who your people are, you don't know who you are. And then on top of that, you want to get into the reparations thing. Well, what's the whole pushback with reparations? Well, we don't know who are descendants of people that was enslaved. Well, if you don't know if your folk was enslaved or not, and you can't provide the paperwork for it, then you might not get them reparations, whether we get them or not. You know what I'm saying? And like we was having a discussion, I was telling Ogun, I feel like the best way to go about getting reparations is suing these individual families that had your ancestor enslaved. But how you gonna know which family to sue if you don't even know which family had your ancestor and which ancestor did they have, and do you have the paperwork to prove that they had your ancestor enslaved? So that's why it's relevant today. Why you should look up your family history. You might find that you trying to figure out, okay, why do we have these genetic defects in my family? You do a little searching, you might find out, well, I got this genetic defect from great such and such, great grandma Annie, Papa Jim, stuff like that. Your family history is the most important history that you need to know. We spend all this time researching Egypt, knowing their whole bloodline, but we don't even know our own bloodline. That's all I got to say.
The brother say that the truth of the matter is, ain't no white man did nothing in Africa. We did this to each other, and today we reaping what we sowed. Mr. Williams, I disagree with that.
I want you to explain that, sir. Please,
Mr. Williams, explain what you're saying. So before we, say what we got to say, but just reading that right there, I disagree with it because we have history. That's the thing about learning the history and reading the history. You always can learn and see what happened to a particular people at a particular time. And that's why one of my biggest focus point with us is knowing history. And like the sister said, yeah, we know, we can talk about the Bible. We can talk about Imhotep. We can talk about the third eye, Kundalini. We can talk about, when it comes to our history, that's the one subject that none of us talk about. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I made sure that it was a point that I brought out with my platform, is that no matter what subject we talk about, it's always going to be some history that we bring with that subject. Whether we're talking about pseudo, hoodoo, voodoo, karate, kung fu, we're going to talk about some of our history, because that's one of the things that we're missing in our community. And I think that's one of the things that's what's keeping us farther on the because everybody talk about their history. Right now, I guarantee you can tell me who tortured the Jews, what they was tortured, how they was tortured, what type of reparations they got, what happened to the person that did it, what happened to the person that helped him. You know that history, because the Jews don't let you forget that. They don't let you forget what happened to them in history. You know the history of the Irish. You know the history of the Irish when they was slaves in Europe. The reason why they make movies, Mel Gibson and them make movies to show you the Irish history. So you know about Britain and all these other places, because they make sure you know the history. And by knowing that history, they get the, matter of fact, you know the history of Hiroshima. That's why they can come over here and they can start shops and don't have to pay taxes, because of the reparations from the atom bomb that got dropped on them. We the only people that don't talk about our history. What the brother say? Let me see what the brother say. What's up, Mookie? I see you, Mr. Knight. I ain't ignoring you. You think white men came to Africa and stole you for real? No, the neighbor tribe took you and sold you. Mr. Williams, now you got it. That's not true, brother. That's not true. Not all Africans.
Source up.
Not all Africans sold and, you know, took the Africans and been like, hey, look, here go you some slaves.
Yep.
Go beat them and treat them. A lot of those people was, a matter of fact, I got to remember that it was one of those kings. TK, if you got that source, the brother, he let the Europeans come in. He was trading with them, and he kept seeing his people coming up missing. They brought in Christianity. He became a Christian. He became a Christian, and he was like, wait a minute. All my damn people coming up missing. And he told them not to come back because he saw what they was doing. So that's not a true narrative that we took each other and said, no, he gonna use some people to go and rape and beat and mistreat. That's not true, Mr. Williams. And if you have a source to show me that that is true, hey, I'll listen to it. I'll put it up here and put it on there. But that's not the narrative that we just, hey, white man, come take these people right here. That's not true, brother. Mookie, you say what's the subject? We was talking about genealogy and learning genealogy, and then we started going into the history of our people. Let's see, Alfonso L. Congo. Alfonso was one first. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's it. Check him out, Mr. Williams. Check him out. He let them come in. They came in. They taught them Christianity. You know what I'm saying? He let them in. He was trading with them, trading goods.
Yep.
And he started noticing that they was taking his people. His people was coming up short. Like, damn, where my people at? And then he found out. Matter of fact, he wrote a letter to the king. Like, hey, I trusted you and you have betrayed me and blah, 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 blah. Look that up, brother. Look it up. And then you can tell me we weren't just getting each other and saying, look, here goes some people you can go take and kill. Matter of fact, that's why we have such different for as body frames and different types, because we was different tribes over here and we came together as different tribes. And that's why you have everybody looking a certain type of way, this person looking a certain type of way. Let me see what the brother said. Okay, this is what the brother said. Each day the traders are kidnapping our people, children of this country, sons of our noble and vassal, even people of our own family. This corruption and depravity are so widespread that our land is entirely depopulated. We need in this kingdom our priests and our school teachers and no merchandise unless it is wine and flour for Mars. It is our wish that this kingdom not be placed for the trade or transport of slaves. So, brother, that kills that narrative, Mr. Williams. Let me see. Brother, also many of our subjects elderly lust after Portuguese merchandise that your subjects have brought into our domains. To satisfy this inordinate appetite, they seize many of our black free subjects. They sell them after having taken their prisoners to the cold secretly at night. As soon as the captives are in the hands of white men, they are branded with red hot iron. So, you know, we weren't just like, bro, we weren't just like going, we did have some of us that was taking us and selling us, but it wasn't on a large scale, brother. When they talk about us being kidnapped and all that, they was kidnapping us. It wasn't just, they was like, hey, look, man, look, I want some gold. Here go you a slave.
Yeah.
So I hope that answered your question, Mr. Williams. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of matter of fact, the sister said, if you don't think your history is important, then you can't expect for anyone else to. Facts. You know, it's just the truth. Mr. Williams, here, I give you a good book. This is a great book if you want to read it. it'll start you off with some of that history, brother. The destruction of the black civilization.
Yes, sir. He needs to get that.
Great issues of race from 4500 BC to 2000 AD by Chancellor Williams. Williams, you might be some kin to that brother. And if you did your genealogy, you might find out you some kin to the great Chancellor Williams. But this is a great book to start with. So when you're talking about they didn't just kidnap us, we sold ourselves, that's not entirely true, brother.
Who say we sold? Huh? Somebody sold ourselves?
Yeah, the brother said that. Well, he said that we caused this to be on ourselves. We reaping what we sowed because the white man didn't do nothing to us in Africa. So we asked him to expand on what he was saying, and he said that you think white men came to Africa and stole you for real? No, the neighbor tribe took you and sold you.
Oh, so we reaping what we sold now.
Just a sec.
That's what the brother said. That's what he was saying. So, you know, we let him, you know what I'm saying, what he said. Hold on, the brother got something else. He said, the willingness to trade is the kidnapper, but lack of truth is what got the youth of today killing each other.
The lack of not knowing who they are.
Exactly.
And capitalism,
bro.
And capitalism, Joe Williams.
Hey, come on here with that.
Economic depression, Joe Williams. What is you saying? Huh? Did you get a brother the link so he can come on?
Yeah.
I put it in the chat. So, you know, if he want to come on, he can, you know what I'm saying?
Come on, Mr. Williams. Where you at? Let's build on this, brother.
I'm gonna say this, and it's something that my brother Victor has failed to always say. I think it's like a motto of his. Know thyself.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's something that he always quoting, and I think he like it on imprinted on my brain. He says so much. Know thyself. When you know thyself, then it's nothing nobody can take away from you because you know about yourself. And knowing yourself, you're gonna know your ancestors. You're gonna know your history. You're gonna know, hey, this what happened to us. This why we like this. This why we like this. I'm also gonna have to quote another brother, Keith Gaston. You know, he's saying that we basically don't took the behavior of the people that was oppressing us to come and basically don't become the oppressors ourselves. And I do think we do suffer from that behavior that we learned, and we doing that behavior like, hey, I want to be.
That's not all of us.
Go ahead. No, I'm not saying that's all of us.
No, I know you're not saying that, but that's the picture that him and Joe be trying to paint. Like every black person is out here trying to destroy every other black person, and then they don't take into consideration, one, we don't live in the times that they talking about. So the cultures was living different. What was the understanding of slavery to them Africans that you talking about? Were they prisoners of war that was going to be adopted into the culture after 7 years and sent home by choice? Or were they like the kings that became people? You know what I'm saying? Like, so don't try to pump like every African was selling every African every chance they got. And that's how you coming at it. And then on top of like knowing yourself, that's exactly why the genealogy is important. So you can know the West African tribes you were stolen from. You
Mr. Williams, hit that link right there. It's right there in the chat. It's going to ask you if you want to share your mic and your camera. If you want, you can just click no. You don't want to share your camera, you can. But that's the link for anybody who want to join. That's the link you can come in. While we waiting on Mr. Williams to come in, I want to talk about somebody that, you know, from the discussion that we had last night. And if you missed last night live, you missed one of my best lives that I don't have outside of the Hebrews. You know what I'm saying? So, but one of the people that was brought up last night that I think is very important to our history is, and I think I'm going to say West African King brought up that brother last night.
Yes, sir. David
Ruggles.
Bring it out.
A radical black abolitionist and the Underground Railroad in New York City.
Yes, sir.
That brother right there, along with some more brothers, that brother right there. Matter of fact, when we talk about Frederick Douglass, you can't talk about Frederick Douglass without talking about this brother. You know what I'm saying? Frederick Douglass, even in his book, quoted, hey, this man brought me in his house. So, you know what I'm saying? That's somebody, check him out. David Ruggles. If you don't know who he is, Google him, Wikipedia, you know, check him out. David Ruggles.
Yes, sir.
Another book, and I always put up the books so, you know, people can know where I get my information from. This is another good book, a starter book out for some history, if you want. A Black History Reader, 101 Questions You Never Thought to Ask by Dr. Claude Anderson. You know what I'm saying? This is a great book to start off with, just some history. It just gives you different historical notes here and there so you can learn, because like I said, you know, we can talk, and the sister said it earlier, you know, we can talk about the bloodline of Jesus. We can talk about his whole family tree. We can talk about who was the Egyptian pharaoh and whatever century. Shit, we can talk about Genghis Khan, but we can't talk about who we were and what we stood for. And no, we were not a bunch of people jumping out of trees with some goddamn bow and arrows.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We had empires. We had empires. We had culture. Let me see what the brother say. I'm trying. It won't let me. It won't let you get the stream yard, brother. Hold on. I'm gonna send it to your inbox. Hold on 1 second. David Ruggles. Hey, TK, if you could talk a little bit about David Ruggles while I send the brother the link in his inbox.
All right, listen. David Ruggles is important to all Black people, period. I'm going to just start there. But in context of what we was discussing yesterday, David Ruggles is the first man that Frederick Douglass met on the Underground Railroad when he made it to freedom. And David Ruggles took him into his home, put him on his feet by showing him where he could get work. And when he got that work popping off, you see what Frederick Douglass came to be. David Ruggles was revered by all of your heroes prior to him. So I think it's important people get into him. I'm going to pull up the book right now and start getting into some facts in a second. But just in the context, we should always take time to respect the people that came before everybody else. I just kind of wanted to say that. I think sometimes we find out new information about our heroes or people that we have held up as heroes. And when you find out that new information, you hit with these facts and then you hate on them. And so hating on these people because maybe, I don't know, they might have married a white woman or I don't know, like some white girls, you know what I'm saying? How does that detract from the accomplishments that they did for Black people and the things that they sacrificed? Like, I'm just trying to put that out there, sir. And so again, y'all
okay, let me ask you this then, brother. Since you brought that up, yep. And that was something that we was discussing last night. Okay, let me ask you this, and by no way I want to offend nobody. I don't want to offend nobody that's watching or nobody that will watch this. Okay, can you be for Blacks marrying someone outside of the race? If let's say if I'm a Black man, let's say me, for instance, and I come over here, I do the BlackbRound table, I do the lives. Can I be for Blacks with a white wife?
There's a, you know, the conversation we was having earlier, so I can't really I don't want to put out private stuff that we was talking about, but this is the context of that conversation. I personally think it depends on the experience of that person. Now, if you come into the game and you want some old, I want to empower Black people, I'm for that. You know what I'm saying? But the perspective and experiences that brought you to it are going to be what should be holding you accountable for the choices you made as far as the woman that you into. Now, your bedroom also is your bedroom. I don't give a fuck what you do in there. You know what I'm saying? Just to put that out there. But at the same time, I'm going to say, yes, you could, depending on the experiences you had.
Okay, let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you this, and if you know, West African King, if he want to come in on it, he can. Can a Caucasian person be for a black movement? Can a Caucasian be for a black movement more than the black person?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because of course, we know throughout history, we have had those Caucasians who have put their lives on the line, who have died for the black movement. So let me, the reason I ask that is because if you look at a black man that married a white woman and say that he can't be 100% for the movement, how can a white person be 100% for a movement? You know what I'm saying? That's the question I'm asking.
I mean, listen.
Yep. You can be for it, but you can't lead.
I got it up right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could go in there.
Say what now?
I got that book right now.
No, you could be for it. You could be down, but you can't lead. You can't be in the. You cannot be put in a position to be a leader in the movement.
Okay, what if they finance the movement?
You can always do that. That's how the Panthers got through.
Right.
Financed by.
Wait a minute. You saying? Wait a minute. You saying the Black Panthers? We talking about the Black Panthers with Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seals, right?
Yep.
You saying that white people was funding them, the Black Panthers?
Most of their financial support came from white people.
Do you got a primary for that, sir?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sir.
I mean, can you prove what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Because you saying the black.
First off, get the Bobby Seal reader. He states it himself, and then get revolutionary suicide. I'm almost it's like towards the end. I'm almost certain. Let me see if I can find it digitally. But yes, those are the two sources, and you could probably type it in and Google it, like I'm about to do to y'all.
Okay, then let me ask you this, then, bro. Okay, you saying that they shouldn't be in the lead of it? Should they be in the pictures with it? Of course, we know our great ancestor Martin Luther King. Of course, we know that he not only accepted white donations, but he also had white people taking pictures and in front with the marches. Was he wrong for that?
I can't speak on that.
That's what's up. I can respect that. What about you, Mr. TK?
Say it one more time. I apologize.
Okay, you were saying that white people shouldn't lead the movement. Okay, well, not only we know Martin Luther King, not only did he take donations from white people, but he also helped them, took pictures in forefront. They was in the front of them marching. They was in front. They was with him taking pictures. Should they be out front instead of having the blackface out front?
No. I agree. I'm 100% with O on that. Like, I just don't think they should be leading us.
So he shouldn't have had them out front with him when
he was out front. No.
Okay.
No leading, not leading at all.
So
because we are sick people, and we have the white savior complex.
And you by saying that, meaning that we waiting for, basically you saying we waiting for the white Jesus to come save us.
Praise white Jesus. I'm waiting on him. I'm waiting on him to come get me.
Oh, you're gonna be waiting a long time, bro. That's the only thing I'm gonna say on that.
He'll be here soon.
That's the only thing I'm gonna say on that. So, my thing was I'm waiting for Mr. Williams to come. Mr. Williams, I hope you ain't get spooked. I hope you ain't spook out, man. Mr. Williams on ran. And people, like I was saying, y'all, the reason we do this, it's for us to be able to discuss things, be able to, I tell you, man, speaking of discussing things, who do y'all think best for us, Biden or Trump?
Biden.
You gonna say Biden?
If them is the two choices.
That's your two choices, brother. Which one would you say better for us, Biden or Trump?
I'm going with Biden.
Biden. Y'all know why
Go ahead. What you were saying? What's African King?
I ain't gonna speak on the fellas cause it's already too much contention where we got black men arguing over two white old men.
Truth.
Mm.
I'm gonna go on with that.
You did what I'm saying.
Well, let me ask you this: what policies that Biden have that you stand behind or think that would be progressive
The
for
Green
us?
Bill.
Who,
So
you
what, bro?
personally?
His Green Bill.
I personally think that we kind of need more than just what we're being offered by Donald Trump. He hasn't really done anything for people that are broke. And I'm not even trying to disrespect broke. I'm just saying we out here struggling to live and we need opportunity too. While he's given tremendous opportunities to richer people than us, he has not looked out for us. And so we have a community of Black women that are consistently trying to hold it down business-wise, raise families, and they are the entrepreneurial leaders.
Hey, look who we got in the chat, fellas. Look who we got in the chat.
CK.
Hey,
If you want, I'm gonna send the link. If you want to come on, you can, sister. We had Netta, but I think there she goes, pseudo killer on deck. Come on here, pseudo killer, because I got something I need for you to kill.
Yeah.
Hey, I also want to say, what's up, Miss Denise? I'm glad to see you in the house. You missed a good one last night.
Peace, Sister Denise.
You missed a good one last night.
All right, Denise.
But you know, my thing is, as a community, you know what I'm saying, we have to find. Okay, then we got the Mo in the house, Ali Bay. What's up, Mr. Bay? Islam, brother. You know what I'm saying? Islam Mo.
Islam.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing what I feel like we have to do, man, if we talk about moving forward, progressing, first we got to get over the ideology complex.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is we got to get over that my ideology, whatever I follow, is better than your ideology, and we can't come together because my idea you won't submit to my idea. My idea of who's the best for us a spiritual master of spiritual father or mother. We got to first get over that.
How many people did that enslave?
How many people that enslaved? Man, know something between and I'm just gonna say this, between Islam and Christianity, I can't even count the numbers of people that was enslaved to those doctrines.
How many people been killed?
Oh man.
No.
Whoa. Of course, you know, we had the Islamic wars with the Ottoman Empire, and then we had the Crusades with England. So whoa. There was some good points too, brother. I'm sorry, coach. I was spending quality time with my daughter. We had no devices, just girl time, but I go back and look at it. That's what's up, sister. That's what's up. You need to let your daughter look at that one too, sister. She probably gonna enjoy that one. You know what I'm saying? Okay, then I think we got the pseudo killer. Hey man, Mr. Williams ran too, man. That brother ran. Yeah. Mr. Williams, I'm ashamed of you, man. Being from the city. I'm being from the city, man, and you ran, man. Look, this is what he said. I'm trying, they won't let me. And then I sent the link to the sister, and she came right on. Oh my God. What's up, CK? How you doing, ma'am?
Peace.
First, I want to say I'm glad to have you on here. I appreciate you. Appreciate you showing up, coming. We were just talking about genealogy, and is it important for us to know and learn where we came from and who we came from. Then we got onto the subject of knowing our history. Is knowing our history important for us today? You know, and the brother said that we were trying to get him on here so he could defend himself, but he said that the reason why blacks enslaved, it wasn't because of the white man, but it was because of other Africans selling us. The white man didn't steal us from Africa. We basically sold ourselves over here. So I disagreed with it. Do you want to say something on that, sister?
Yikes, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I mean.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me ask you this. Since you're the pseudo killer, I want to ask you this. Which ideology is the best for the culture of Black people, and why?
We
Yikes.
disagree.
You
And
Charlotte.
really
when you
want to
say
ask an
ideology,
atheist
of
that?
course, you know I'm talking about the Abrahamic faith, all the Buddhism, all of it. Which one of those is best for Black people, and why? And if not, why not?
Mm.
Hey, the
Well, I
sister says she
mean,
disagreed with Mr. Williams.
at the end of the
We
day, you
agree
know what
with
I'm saying?
Charlotte.
I'm just saying, at the end of the day, it really comes up to that individual or that group of people that have a like-minded, I guess you could say, aspect on life. So just because, let's say all of us on the panel, we decide to pick up, I don't know, pick a random belief system, Buddhism, and that works for us, the belief system, the different practices and customary processes that they have in regards to Buddhism, if that works for us for what we're trying to use it for, or even if we ain't even practicing it the way you're supposed to, we just taking the parts that we want to do. You know what I mean? If that works for you, do you. But me being an atheist, I'm going to say none of them, none of these religious practices are helpful to us as a people, in my opinion, because they just trap you into a lot of rhetoric and a lot of dogma that can mislead you and that can get you into situations where you end up being a follower or being taken advantage of because, oh, since we all believe the same ideology, here you have this person that's in charge or that's in a position of power that's using that ideology to manipulate those believers because they believe in that the same thing that they're trying to propagate that they believe. But the last part that I want to touch on is that, I've been exposed to some different things, and, and listening to New Black Knowledge with your story and kind of pointing out, some things that I didn't really recognize or understand or really see before in regards to like the Christian church, despite the fact, I'm an atheist, I'm against all of that craziness. But you can't ignore or deny how important the Christian church was when it came to empowering Black people in regards to education, empowering Black people in regards to their freedom. You know what I mean? Empowering Black people so far as trying to help them get a place to stay and protecting them from being enslaved again. You know, like you can't ignore that, despite the fact that if it wasn't for the damn religion to begin with, we wouldn't even been over here. So you gotta just call it like it is. Like, yo, I blame you for our asses being over here to begin with, but I do
Fact.
understand that our people did use certain parts of that belief system or the organizational part of that belief system, I guess you could say, to, get
Teach.
us out of a situation. So it depends on how you look at it. It's all subjective at the end of the day.
Mm. Well, let me ask you this, sister, since you know what I'm saying, and that was great. And one of the things that, you know what I'm saying, that I had to look at too, of course, with truth, was the fact that that church, the AME church, was real strong with that Underground Railroad and the people that was, involved with that church.
Correct.
But I do feel like because of all the different, and I want to say the Christian and the Islamic faith, I think a lot of people died that probably shouldn't have to die because well, of course we know about the Crusades where they basically, if you ain't Christian, you died, and we know about the Ottomans. If you weren't worshiping Islam, you died. And I think a lot of us was forced to take those beliefs, and of course we got taught it through tradition. I think a lot of us in this community know what we know for is Abrahamic faith because of our great grandparents. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that being said, I want to ask you this. Do
Did you want
you,
me to answer the first question? You asked me like 4 questions.
I'm sorry,
And
I
then
just
in
know
the
you're
middle
a
of me about
computer.
to
I know
answer
you're a
that one, you asked
computer.
me another question.
I know you're a computer. So go ahead and spit. So I'm gonna mute my mic again. Go ahead and spit.
No, it's all good. I know when I first came in, and if y'all didn't hear me the first time, peace to the panel and peace to the chat. But I know you had said is genealogy important, and of course it is. Most of us don't know our family when you get back a certain distance. Like you may know who your parents are and your grandparents, and maybe even your great grandparents, but a lot of times people probably may not know anything beyond that. So, if you know somebody that does know how to do genealogy, by all means, I think definitely we should link up with them. If somebody's good enough where they can teach it, I think they definitely should do videos on it just to try to help those of us that don't know how to do it very well get more familiar with it, because it can reveal a lot about your family that you probably didn't know before. You may have a lot of important figures in your family that you had no idea, because that information just wasn't passed down. Stuff get burnt down, towns get burnt down, so stuff get lost. And then with things changing as technology has gotten a little bit further, a lot of us have moved away from where we used to live at, so you lose a lot of that history as well, because a lot of elderly people, they pass away and whatnot. Oh, I didn't know if you wanted me to keep going.
Bro.
Unmute.
I was trying to teach y'all how to read lips. See, that's what's wrong with y'all Negroes. Y'all won't never learn nothing.
Oh, I'm not even looking.
I'm trying to teach y'all a sacred art. Read lips. Y'all could have read my lips.
Yeah, it is.
No,
See what you're doing right now, brother. You making Jesus very unhappy.
Okay, let me ask this. This for everybody on here.
Jesus or white Jesus?
What do y'all think will be the best thing for our people to be able to unite around for one cause? And each one of y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. I'm just, because of course y'all know we can't, for whatever reason, we can't come together for one agenda. So what do y'all think we need to do, or what needs to happen for us to just say, no, let's do it like our ancestors?
Shout out to a Nancy. I had asked him the same question, and shout out to MBK. And I believe in that answer. Community. We need to build up our community feeling again. We need to be able to say that that's my brother, regardless of who your mom is, because we black. I don't know what that is. It's them wish Netabo.
What up?
But no, so that's where I'm at. I think we should all really try to come together on some community feeling. Take some village type of shit again. Where your kids is my kids, when we out in public, we all gonna try and protect ourselves, especially women. Things of that type of thing.
What would it take though? What would it take
what
for
y'all
us?
was talking about. I'm sorry.
Basically,
I missed what y'all talking about because I went through a bad spot.
CK, we was talking about, since she was the pseudo killer, I had to ask her something so she can kill it, about the Abrahamic faith. Would that be, good for us or bad for us or whatever? And, of course, we talked about, was the genealogy important? Did she feel like it would be important for us to have genealogy? But the question I'm asking, what would it take for us to come together as a people, as a whole, to make the people that got the money to respect us, and like they respect the Jews, like they respect the Chinese, like they respect the Italians? All these people getting checks from the United States government. What do we need to do? What we need to say, or how do we come together so we can get a check?
Are you asking me that question?
Yeah.
So, you asking me that?
Yeah.
You asking me that question?
Yes, he is.
I don't really think there's one answer to the question. First of all, we didn't figure out who we are. Like, cause you got people saying they Aboriginal, they Moorish, they goddamn Hebrew.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We got, first of all, we got to figure out our identity crisis. Ain't nobody gonna take us serious if we don't know who we are. Like, I can't take these niggas serious. They say they everything. They claim everybody's culture, but they don't. Right? And so then I think another thing is we give people passes. You know, if you say anything negative about a Jew, the Anti-Defamation League coming after you. You got to go on an apologizing tour. I feel like we need some kind of organization like that to put their foot on people's neck, like Vlad, like DJ Vlad, and that come in and pimp the culture, and then sit there and act like he don't need us. And I kind of think that we got to come to agreement to learn to agree to disagree. Everybody, Black people is not monolithic. We all have different values and morals, and we just got to learn how to respect each other. But we need to find what is gonna bring us together on a common ground. And I think that common ground is the oppression that we have all went through in America. And I don't know. I just really don't have no clear answer. I don't think it is a clear answer. I think it's multiple answers to that question. That's all I got to say.
That was some good answers right there. That was some. The brother said. The brothers, Charles Goodwin III said, "Never talking that real." That's what I'm talking about. Talk that real. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else can go in if they want. Go ahead.
Hey man, I totally agree with Nelda, man. We do need a defamation league for the Richard Dunzella, for the guy, the professor who was just on Twitter act like he was a black woman, for the Jewish lady talking about she was Spanish. They need to apologize to the black community. They need to go on a campaign. We need donations to our HBCUs. We need donations to our black young STEM students, to our black young scientists. We do. But back to the subject, my fault. It ain't one answer, man. It ain't. Like I always said, black people need a team of lawyers. Black people need a union.
Yeah.
We definitely need a union. For the police murders, for the gentrification, for the redlining, etc., etc., etc. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just my little solution, because it's very little and minute.
TK, you got something you want to say?
Man, I'm 100% on that.
I wanted to make sure everybody went first.
Oh, go ahead, CK.
Forgot what I was gonna say. Lord have mercy. There was two things I wanted to say. I guess the first would be that I'm gonna piggyback off of what Netta said about the oppression thing. I mean, I don't know if there's the elephant in the room is all these different identity crisis groups that we got going on: the Moors, Hebrews, Abos, even the NOI Mother Flowers. They think they Afro-Asiatics. I don't know if there's anything that we can do with them people, because if they don't want to agree with science and take the DNA test and, you know, just concede to the facts and the evidence, we may have to as this year has been going on, I'm really starting to think that we may have to let that go. We may have to, because if people don't want to concede to the evidence, we may have to unite on something. That there is one thing that is the only thing I could think of that I agree with Netta, that I know for a fact that the Moors will agree with, the Abos will agree with, the Hebrews will agree with, the Nation of Islam will agree with, and of course the Pan-Africanists, etc., that are, you know, people that are the same color as us, is that we have been experiencing discrimination, oppression, racism, etc. in this country, all because of the color of our skin, all because we're descendant of these people that were kidnapped, enslaved, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I think that if we can leave out the part that about us being African and descendant of African, and just, I think that that's one thing I know that all them groups will agree on, that, hey, have you ever experienced anybody being discriminated upon by the police just because of the color of our skin? I guarantee you, all of them will agree with that. I think that needs to be the main focus and like the only focus, and just completely ignore everything else. Because as soon as we start talking about anything close about religion, we finna bump heads. As soon as we start talking about anything about us being related to the people from Africa, we finna bump heads. And then the last thing I wanted to bring up, I'm trying not to change the discussion because Coach already brought up this question, but I wanted to, based upon what everybody was saying, is that we needed a group to kind of advocate for us. I wanted to ask everybody, after, you feel like we're done with that question, Coach, is do y'all not feel like the NAACP is that group, or maybe they are that group, but they are not doing a good job of it, maybe?
Now that's a very good question, because I'm just going to be honest. The NCAACP, I mean, what are they? I mean, what have they been? What they've been doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? I understand, it's stuff behind the scenes, but why they're not out here with the lawyers that they do have fighting for justice in these different cases? Why we don't see a bunch of, hey, come join us. We need you, blah, blah, blah. Why we don't see that from them? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't see them. The only way we know it is that it is an organization is because somebody mentioned them. Somebody bring them up. But other than that, where are they? Where are the NCAACP? So to answer the question, maybe the idea of them might be what we need to follow, but them as an organization, no, because they ain't doing nothing and they're not saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? I really think that if brothers and sisters saw those groups out more, they would probably get behind them. But where are they? You know what I'm saying? Honestly, where are they? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think other groups have kind of taken the shine lately. Like the Black Lives Matter, they really kind of took over, because it used to be back in the day, when we was kids growing up, that it was the NAACP that was advocating for, oh, this was wrong, what happened to Breonna Taylor, or this police shooting was wrong, we want justice, blah, blah, blah. And it seemed like they've kind of taken that mantle now, from my perspective. Because we do got other organizations. I think we just don't hear about them. I think it's because of this. I think it's because of the media. If the media doesn't talk about them, like, we don't really know about them. But there are like bazillions of different organizations that deal with the violence in the Black community and all of that. We just aren't familiar with them.
And I think a lot of that too is the agenda of these organizations. You know what I'm saying? If they're genuine or not. I do know that behind the Black Lives Matter movement is another movement that's involved with that, and that movement get more attention than the Black Lives Matter movement. So I can understand why they would be have more publicity than a lot of these groups. But speaking of groups, where are the goddamn gangbangers?
Yeah,
where are the goddamn gang members?
What the hell they gonna do? They trying to get money.
But I'm saying though, why they're not stepping? I mean, they like to shoot the goddamn houses that people working in every day. Why not show out? Why not come and say, hey, look, hey, police, this is our neighborhood.
Arrested on site.
I mean, I'm just saying because we already know it's more gangbangers than it is police.
There is.
Why they're not marching with the Black Lives Matters? You know what I'm saying? All these other fraternity groups. We have all type of fraternity, Black fraternities. Of course, we know about the Black Masons and all this, Shriners. Where they at? Like, where are all these people? Where are the Hebrews? Where are the Moors? Where are all these people when it's time for work to be put in? Where are these people? You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like all these groups, we got all these groups, we got all these ideology groups, we got all these super powered people. Where are they when it's time for work? Because I don't have to ask you where the Proud Boys at. I don't have to ask you where the KKK at. I don't have to ask you where the white Confederates or rednecks at. I don't have to ask you where these people at, because they in the streets. They on the videos. Hey, look, here we go. Anybody that agree with us, come over here. I don't have to ask you what they doing, because shit, they planning on kidnapping goddamn the Democratic governor in Michigan.
Yeah, that's scary.
And I'm not saying we need to be that extreme, but I'm saying we have all these groups in the community that's taking money from the community, but it's no soldiers when it's time to go and show your face. Truth about the party that brought power to the people. Undefeated.com. But that's my thing. That's my question to anybody.
That's Bobby Seale's interview. He just dropped the joint with the 50th anniversary a while ago.
That's what's up, bro. I saw that, man. But where are all these groups? Where are all these groups that we scatter of? Where are all these people at? Where are all these people? Because, like I said, I don't have to ask you where the white militias are, because they showing us where they are. They saying, hey, look, President Trump, we on standby when you ready for us to come. They out in the streets. Shit, I think 11 of them, I want to say, what is it? I don't want to get a wrong number. It's 11, 13 got arrested for wanting to kidnap the governor in Michigan.
Yeah, it was a white militia group, Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah, the Michigan Wolverines, the football team. That's the name of the football team.
I know.
You know,
I wonder if they're going to change their name after that.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I'm not, and please, people, don't get me confused, because I'm not going to be with you with your terroristic acts. I'm not saying to kidnap no governor or shoot or kill nobody. But where are all these groups that terrorize the black community? Why they're not standing up for the black communities? That's my whole thing.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
You just answered your own question. If they're terrorizing the black community, why would they care about it?
And it's so crazy, because then soon as one of these police officers do something, then we like, oh, they did it wrong. Let's march.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. And then, like I said, I'm still not over the fact that I seen guys saying that the sister deserved to get shot because of who she was dating. That still is heartbreaking for black men to say that.
Yeah.
You haven't seen not Fox News as much hate that they promote to make sure they get their ratings. As much as they promote, they haven't said, look, if she wouldn't have been dating a dope dealer, she wouldn't have died. They know better than that. But you got brothers in our community saying because the sister dated a dope dealer and the police saw him go to the trap and leave, it was okay for them to come in and shoot. She was collateral damage. Huh? What type of thinking is that? And then we wonder why the youth don't get behind us, because we got brothers that's teaching the youth that. So I don't have no problem when the little brother coming, hey man, that B word, that H word. What I'm gonna say to him? Man, don't call her that. Well, man, you just said the sister that died was collateral damage. How you gonna tell me not to call her B? Like, we shooting ourselves in the foot.
Teach.
Like, I mean, I'm just saying, I ain't saying everything I say is right. What I say is my opinion or a fact, but I know I heard them brothers saying that sister was collateral damage, and it was her fault that she got shot.
It was not.
You know?
Man, she was 26, man. She was a freaking kid. And
it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
she was a kid, man.
So, you know, it's just that type of thinking that's circulating through our community by the adults. This is circulating by the adults. So when these kids hear that stuff, they thinking, okay, well, shit, if he said it, it's okay for me to say it. Can't nobody say that to me about disrespecting no sister, because shit, they collateral damage. I don't know. Anybody feel different? I don't know. You know, y'all can, y'all know I like to rant. This is my revolutionary rant.
Get your shit off, man. Get your shit off.
Nah, I'm 100% with you. People that feel like that, I mean, go kill yourself.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and then another thing, like I said last night, and I repeat it, and anybody get offended, that's on them. But how brothers talking about change and stuff, but they won't even run for seats in their local Congress. Yep. Like I said, and I'm not dogging this brother because everybody do their own thing. There's everybody in the conscious community is known because they don't been on Sonetta TV at some point.
Yep.
He got enough constituents and enough people following him to take whatever seat he want in New York. And half the brothers that don't been on his panel have those same type of followings to take Congress seats, to take city councilman seats. I don't hear about none of them running for those seats.
That's what I asked, bro. You remember that's the conversation.
These people got millions of followers all over the globe.
That's the conversation me and you have, Coach.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying?
If I had 100,000 views, you think I ain't finna run for freaking city council?
If I wanted to change something,
right? You
know what I'm saying? Same way with that brother, Dr. Umar. And I'm not talking negative on these people because I don't want no smoke from them. I don't want them to kill my little 100 Facebook followers. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
I'm just saying he wanted school. Why not take your popularity and take that to Congress? Why not take it to a Senate seat? Why not take a seat so you ain't got to worry about money because you're one of the people that make the decision on how the money is spent.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's just our behavior, man, and our mind frames are not matching what we're saying. And then we get mad at the youth because the youth is not paying attention to us. They like, man, I don't want to hear that. Y'all hypocrites. Now, y'all set up and let these police kill us, and we ain't finna let them kill us. And that's what their mentality is. That's why you got these youngsters with goddamn 100-round clips, and they're not scared of nothing, including the police, including me, including whoever. But we got men and women with popularity out of this world, and the only thing they waiting on is the goddamn donation from the community. Instead of saying, know something, I'm finna fix these so-called people that don't like us. I'm gonna run for a seat. I'm gonna take my popularity and I'm gonna run for a seat. That's why I was telling people about the ballots. On those ballots, it ain't just two names on those ballots. You have people that's running for Senate. You have congressmen. You have bills that they're trying to pass. So if you say no something, forget the ballot, period. I'm just going to let it be because I don't like Trump or Biden. Well, you could be missing out on something that could be progressive for you. That's my revolutionary rant. One of y'all can take over. Give me a minute. I'm going to step off for a minute, but I'm going to let y'all do y'all rant.
Yo, man, I'm 100% with you. Dude is tripping, but I'd rather let another go in on it.
I ain't got much to add to it here. Coach done killed it, buried it, dug it back up, and killed it.
Right.
Y'all know I leave that revolutionary stuff to y'all. Y'all know that ain't even my field right there. So
I dig it.
Right, me too, so I don't deal with that.
Shout out to all the armchair revolutionaries listening. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, hey.
Killing the remote control.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
I just thought about something too. I'm gonna tell you something that's real hypocritical. Okay, I commit a crime. I go to court for the crime.
Yeah.
I go to jail for the crime. I pay my so-called dues for that crime. And then they say, well, look, because you went to jail and you paid your dues and your restitution to the community, you can't vote because you went to jail.
Yep.
Is that not hypocritical? Is that, I mean,
y'all
is that just me or is that double
too,
jeopardy?
right?
So what's up?
I said, I don't think a lot of people realize that that's against the Constitution. It's an amendment. There's an amendment in the I was double checking something the other day ago.
Primary.
I'm gonna tell y'all why later because it's gonna make us go off topic if I mention why I was looking this up.
No, we need primary.
There's an actual amendment in the Constitution that says that your voting rights cannot be restricted due to servitude.
Yeah, that's right.
Same thing.
It's only
with
if
our
you're a felony, right? Yeah.
No, it doesn't even say that. It just says that your voting rights shall not be restricted due to servitude. It doesn't say anything else after that. But because that's so general and vague, these states, they create these crazy laws that contradict the Constitution and the amendments to the Constitution, just like our right to peacefully protest. I don't know. See, never mind. I'm making us go off topic anyways. Fuck it.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
But
wherever you bring it,
I don't know if y'all noticed. I didn't even notice this either until recently, especially ever since, if y'all noticed some years ago, most of us probably would have been kids at the time when the people was protesting Wall Street after that recession.
Yeah, right.
And then we had a gang of people protesting that pipeline that the white people was trying to build through the Native American territory.
Yep.
And then it was a gang of people protesting, of course, when all those white supremacists was getting together. Antifa was coming up there and beating the shit out of them. That shit was hilarious, son. And because of all of this happening, a lot of these states are creating laws that are contradicting the Constitution and the amendments to those Constitution, like our right to peacefully protest. And they're coming up with these laws and putting very interesting language in there that basically straight up violates our rights. It's basically, if I ended up reading some of it to y'all, it will shock y'all. And like, for example, I ain't gonna go into grave detail, but I'm just gonna say, for example, in Florida, our governor's a Republican, it's DeSantis. He's a Trump butt buddy. He came out with this Police Protection Act literally a couple of days before that verdict came through on Breonna Taylor. It's almost like he was expecting people to like revolt or some shit off of that. And the provision in that fucking act, it says that if you go to a protest, or it doesn't even say protest, it just says if you assemble, if a group of people assemble and it turns violent, you shall be arrested for no less than 6 months. So it's like, hold up. That's infringing on our rights right there. You can have a group of us that are here peacefully protesting, and then you could have somebody that's an agitator, or even one of these white supremacists that do something that causes things to get out of control. And next thing you know, all of us is getting locked up. I'll give you another example. I threw a video in the Discord chat the other night ago. It was a video from Minneapolis. Derek Chauvin, he got released on bail. People were hot, son. Mad as fuck. What was the point of y'all going through all of that time letting us protest for y'all to finally arrest the dude, and then now that you don't arrest him, now you allow him to get out on bond?
Yeah, get out on bond.
So people were protesting a couple of days ago, all day. They was protesting all day the day that he was supposed to be getting released. And some people decided to stay even at night. The police surrounded them. They had nowhere to go. They're telling them to leave. Oh, leave the area. How? And they're like, you can see it on the video. The people the independent news people that was recording. If y'all actually watch the video, the independent video lady was like, "Yo, where are they supposed to go? Like, we surrounded." And even the people are like yelling at the officers, "Yo, where can we go? You keep telling us to leave the area, but you have us surrounded. Where do we go?" Arrested everybody, yo. Except for the one coalition of black people. They was like, "Oh, you need to call these people that we already got permission to be here," and blah 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 blah. But there were some tweaks to one of their rules on lawful assembly in Minneapolis. And the tweak to the law was that it's very catchy. It said, I almost want to go pull it up so I can read it word for word. It says something along the lines of that if you assemble with a group of people and you intend to be violent, you will be incarcerated for, X amount of time or whatever. But I'm like, hold up. How do you know what somebody's intent is? You can just assume intent.
That sound like a lesser form of martial law to me. That's what it sounds like.
It's called fascism, sir.
Fascism. That's what's up, because that's what it sounds like. Like we're gonna control the narrative.
Yeah. So basically, There are unlawful assembly laws. Check your states, yo. Trust me, y'all. Everybody, whatever state you stay in, check your unlawful assembly laws. I'm telling you, these laws that they're tweaking or just the law itself, it's so vague that that joint is definitely violating everybody's right to peacefully assemble. Because they could just because one person decides to do something crazy, now all of a sudden this is an unlawful assembly. And that video that I threw in a Discord server, them people were peaceful. Nobody was throwing anything. Even the independent news lady was like, yo, like nobody's throwing anything. Nobody's doing anything. Yeah, people may be popping off at the mouth, but that's it.
But see, the thing
How is
about
this an
that,
unlawful assembly?
well, the only thing I dislike about that, but I do like about it, is because when those malicious groups come with their guns, it's somebody always holding that sign talking about the Second Amendment. They always reminding them that they have a right to assembly and they have a right for a weapon. And they also have the right of a militia. So that's one thing I like about those militia groups when they show up. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it, those police are not messing with those groups. They're not messing with those groups. They're messing with groups that look like me.
Okay,
The brother,
I have it pulled up.
okay, the brother Ali Bey, before you say peace and love, critical thinking must be adopted by all. The Constitution does not apply because you contracted out of its protection. So basically saying, I guess he's speaking from a Moorish standpoint, that the Constitution don't apply to us blacks because we're not protected by the Constitution, by contract. You know, that'll be going into your straw man and all that.
Yo, if you're born in this country or any territory owned by the United States, you become under the jurisdiction of the United States. If your behind got a social security number, shoot, even if you don't, even if you hear, well, no, if you hear illegally, nah, you most likely not. They don't have to follow the laws when it comes to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I'm gonna read it to y'all. Here is the 2019. They tweaked it a year ago. The Minnesota statute law. This is the 609. And in the video, you're going to hear the officer tell them what statute, the unlawful statute that they're violating. He said 169. He said, y'all are violating the Unlawful Assembly Act of 169. So I tried to look it up real quick. I'm like, I don't see no fucking 169. So I said, let me just type in unlawful assembly. This dude said the wrong darn statute number. It's 609. Unlawful statute 609-705. When 3 or more persons, it doesn't say protest, it don't say riot. It says when 3 or more persons assemble, each participant is guilty of an unlawful assembly, which is a misdemeanor if the assembly is one of these 3 things. Either A, with the intent to commit unlawful act by force. How do you determine somebody's intent? So now we got to look up some more legal definitions and shit to see what the hell they mean by intent. And then, or 2, with the intent to carry out any purpose in such a manner as will disturb or threaten the public peace. 3, without lawful purpose, but the participants so conduct themselves in a disorderly manner as to disrupt or threaten the public peace. I have a beef with them 2. Number 2 and number 3 will disturb or threaten the public peace. Number 2. Number 3, disorderly manner or disturb or threaten the public's peace. Since when has a fucking protest not disturbed the peace? Wow. I don't care how peaceful it is. If you aren't gathering in a group of people, enough of people, all of y'all can't stand on the darn sidewalk if you got more than 100 people. All of y'all can't stand on the darn sidewalk. So you're going to be in the street. So right then and there, y'all are unlawfully assembling because you are disturbing the peace. Traffic can't get through. You are disturbing the peace, especially if it's at night, which is what this situation was in Minnesota. This was at night. People supposed to be asleep. Businesses closed. You are disturbing the peace. It's very vague. This particular statute violates your constitutional rights. And almost all the states that we stay in either have a law like this or they have implemented one within the past couple of years due to people exercising their rights. See, when people ain't exercising their rights, all is good. As long as your ass going to work, going to school, taking care of your kids. Oh, who
Right.
gives a care how much money you not getting paid enough money? Oh, you just got put off your insurance. Oh, you just got laid off from your job and they just laying people off just because. You know what I mean? Oh, who gives a fuck if we're putting some laws in place that's negatively impacting you? Oh, who gives a care if these officers are killing you indiscriminately?
Woo.
As soon as you start exercising your constitutional rights, it's a problem.
Facts. Facts. Facts.
Damn, so. Damn.
Preach. Preach.
And that's just Minnesota. Man, if I read the one from there in Florida, y'all gonna be like, y'all gonna fall out y'all chair, man.
That shit probably more crazy in the South than anything, right?
Well, if it's crazy in Florida, I know Alabama's gonna come with something better because you know they always got a one up. They got to one up everybody.
So, nah, don't forget Georgia.
Yeah.
You damn hillbilly.
Hey man, don't you be talking about my ancestors, brother.
Nah, I forgot you were 60% white.
Don't be talking about my ancestors, brother. I'm sorry. I refuse to let you talk about my ancestors. You know what I'm saying?
You embrace that 14% whiteness of you, don't you?
I know it, brother. I got to, brother. Hey.
So
white power.
So let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Can I ask you a couple questions, brother?
Go ahead, please do, brother.
So if you got $350,000, what you gonna do with it?
$350,000?
Yeah.
300. Oh man, that's a lot, man. No, some brother. I wouldn't lie to you. I always wanted to build a stadium for the youth in this city because the city don't do nothing for the youth football leagues. Like we have to pay so much money just for these kids to have a safe environment. So, you know, I always dreamed if I could, I would build just a stadium for that purpose only. So they could be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna stay around y'all Negroes. I'm not, I'm sorry. I'm gonna move me in some woods. I'm gonna move in the back of the woods, and I'm gonna move away from y'all Negroes, cause y'all gonna self-explode, man. Y'all want to kill each other too bad, bro. Like y'all don't want to see each other, and then y'all get mad at each other for being successful. And I'm saying y'all because I don't consider myself black. I told you that. I'm denouncing being black. I don't consider. I mean, because man. Y'all don't want to come together. Yeah. Y'all want to fight each other. Y'all want to shoot each other. Your women, man, y'all, I really think, I used to think that Chinese and the Eastern Indian treated their women worse. I don't know nobody treat their women worse than the goddamn black men. Black men treat their women like they dirt, but they run right to them every time they feel bad. I don't understand it. And Joe be like, man, B's, H's, but then as soon as that heart get broke, they run to that black one. See, I'm tired of y'all Negroes, bro. I'm actually gonna try to get some bleach and start doing that stuff, you know, bleaching my skin, man. Cause I'm gonna be like that sister. I'm gonna be like that white woman that claimed to be black. I'm gonna be a white man.
You gonna be Richard Donzola.
That's it, brother. I'm just gonna keep me a shirt on, some button-up shirts. I think I'll do my face to my neck. And I'm just going to start talking like this on you guys because I'm not going to allow you guys to take me down.
Yo, can you ask the Bay boy what he is talking about?
Say what?
Ali Bay. What is he talking about?
Ali Bay saying statutes and codes are void if you are in your proper person. In correlation to the Constitution, the legal issue is how do you get around their not in harmony amendments?
Please give him the link and let him try to explain this bullshit.
Yeah, you might want to reword that.
The brother say you are,
but we all need to remember.
The white man. That's right, brother. I am the white. I am that Caucasian that you talking about coming out the mountains, brother. Boom. I am that Canaanite that was in Canaan. And I will be Esau. Yeah. I will be the brother with the red, coming from the red. I am tired of you, brothers and sisters, whatever you want to call yourselves, because you would not unite for a reason. You would not protect the kids. You would not take your money and donate towards the kids. The sister trying to go to school. The sister trying to go to school, instead of you supporting that sister, you'll make her get on the pole and then give her tuition money. Who does that?
The black man, he the biggest terrorist, ain't it, brother?
He said, I didn't say all that. Hey, brother, that what's up. Ali Bay, man, if you want to come on, man.
Yeah, let him
wants you to come on. He wants you to come on and defend your claim about the proper person. I'm going to drop the link back in there. Oh, that ain't the link. Ooh, don't drop that in there.
I feel you, sir. I feel you, Cole.
Yeah.
I ain't
only one thing I was gonna bring up,
I'm tired of y'all, man.
Yeah, but CK, that's sad though, because you know they give us these amendments and these rules, and then turn around and find ways to break them. But then soon as we bring them up, like, hey, this is my right. We get popped in the head. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, put your camera down.
With that though, that I forgot to mention earlier. Despite the fact that we have the Constitution and, of course, those amendments to the Constitution, we still have state rights. So there's a little clause in the Constitution to a degree where the states can kind of come up with their own thing. But if and only if one of us take the state to court over something that they feel like there's a violation of the Constitution, it's up to the federal government to uphold the Constitution and force the state to change their law, or force the state to basically, you know, us not get, you know, whatever done to us or whatever. Like if it's a person that took them to court or whatever. And sometimes they don't.
And just
now,
imagine.
An example of when they did. Here's an example of when they did is when they came out with the Civil Rights Act, when they said, hey, you know, y'all can't be discriminating against Black people. If they want to go into a restaurant and purchase something, you can't tell them that they can't come in the store. You can't, you know, not sell nothing to them. Oh, the Black person or a Jew or whatever wants to go to your school, you know, and they live in that area, in that jurisdiction, they can go to that school. You can't tell them that they can't go to that school. You can't force them out. So of course, a lot of states did not listen to this. They still was continuing to do what they were doing before. And guess what? The federal government came in and forced them to follow that federal law that took place. That would be an example of them forcing the states to follow a federal law.
And just think about how much
jurisdiction.
Money, yeah, just think about how much money you'll be out though, taking them to court, trying to get for your right. You know what I'm saying? Just to practice what you're practicing. And that's so crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's crazy that a man can go to prison. Okay, he do a crime. He go do the time for the crime. He pay restitution. And then they say, hey, know something? You can't vote. You once was an inmate. You once had a felony on your record. You can't vote. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
That would be an example of the states. That is a law that the states have been coming up with, where they're barring felons from voting. But in the Constitution, it explicitly says that your right to vote shall not be restricted, even due to servitude. But people just doing what they want to do. Which I agree. I feel like, just because you in prison, you still an American citizen. You don't stop becoming an American citizen just because you're in jail. Yeah, you may lose some freedoms, but I don't feel like they should lose their right to vote. Like, things happening in the world, including at that prison, still affects them. You know, they still shouldn't be mistreated just because, they stole some stuff and now they in jail, or they were selling drugs and now they in jail.
And see, this why I always tell people to pay attention to history. The brother put up a quote from Delaney, which we were talking about. Martin Delaney said, "Was committed to action. We must make an issue, create an event, and establish for ourselves a position." Delaney declared at the 1854 National Immigration Convention. And that's what I always tell people. Like, if we pay attention to our history and the people that came before us, then we can move a lot better, because we understand and see what they had to do. And they had less and they did more. That's the thing That's my thing. That's why I say we the watered down blacks. We the watered down blacks. Because they had less and they did more. They didn't have internet. They didn't have StreamYard, Facebook. Only thing they had was their voice. And that's what's up. Anybody else want to say something, add something? We finna hit that 2-hour mark. And I know how, our attention span, a lot of us suffering from that ADHD and all that different type of stuff. So anybody got something else they want to add before, we close out? So, and I want to say, first, I want to say appreciate everybody who came. CK, I always appreciate the information you bring. I appreciate the information that Ms. Summers brung. Like I said, if anybody want to learn about genealogy, she will be back. We will have a whole discussion on what, who, how, what to do. But if you want to reach her and independently talk to her about it and maybe hire her for her service, reach her on Shanita Summers on Facebook, inbox her. I don't know her prices. You have to get her prices. But I tell everybody, man, no, see what your family.
I know her price.
Go ahead, bro. What is it? Anyway, the sister do the genealogy. She will do your family tree. She will show you where to go, how to do it. Talk to her about the press. Damn, I'm sorry, Netta. It's your Netta Summers. Y'all know I didn't graduate to 6th grade.
Shanita.
You know what I'm saying?
Shanita.
I'm gonna change her name. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna have to change her name. But look the sister up, man. Learn out where you come from. Learn who your family is. You might be some kin to some of these famous people that we always talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it was one brother. I'm not going to say the brother name because I don't want, nobody think I'm talking negative. But the brother said he was some kin to Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass family knew their family tree, and they was like, no, he's not. You're not no kin.
Run them donations.
So the brother recanted that, and he remixed what he was saying. Instead of saying that he was some kin to him, he just saying, the spirit of him flow through him.
Shout out to Keith Gaston and Joe Williams.
You know what I'm saying? Joe Williams ran. Hey, anybody see Joe Williams in them streets? Tell him he a sucker. Tell him he a sucker. He got scared and ran.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be on the BlackbRound table. Know that the League of Shadows don't struck again. You know what I'm saying? The League of Shadows don't struck again. We're gonna be back next Saturday with another some more topics, some more issue. Anybody want to come on, get what you want to talk about, and then bring it on. Bring it on. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna come. We're gonna keep on bringing this this hotness. I might even know some next show. I might start the show off with a freestyle. Dylan.
No.
I'm gonna spit hot fire. I'm gonna spit hot fire. You know what I'm saying?
1,
so,
2, 3, and 4.
That's it. Y'all come on. Of course, y'all know Fridays. We do the show every Friday. And then we do the BlackbRound table every Saturday. We're going to keep on doing this until the Most High tell us to stop. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, we're going to continue to do this until I convert the sister CK to be an Israelite. I'm going to convert the sister CK to be more science Israelite Abos. And that's when I'll stop, because I know that's when Jesus will be coming back. So, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody. Thank you to everybody for your support. We're going to come back next week. Peace.
Bye, Netta.